The base model and Plus of Samsung's S series devices are arguably the best seller due to a more reasonable price point on or around the $1,000 price point, or even under when looking at the smaller base model, offering near enough the same top-end experience as the Ultra. This time around, with the S24, especially the S24 Plus, it looks like a return to form and glory, but also a return of something we thought we wouldn't see back anytime soon, which is the return of the EXYNOS chipset. Hi, Ben from SamMobile. If you enjoy new and exclusive videos like this, then be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos on YouTube with SamMobile TV. Here's our first hands-on experience with the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus and S24. For both Galaxy S24 Plus and S24, there are 4 standard colors available, which are marble grey, amber yellow, cobalt violet, and onyx black. The design and build follow what Samsung are calling a one-mass design, which built on a seamless connection between the rear and the side of the phone, while opting for the slimmest bezels yet, which are symmetrical on a completely flat display, backed with the use of stronger armor aluminium and matte finish to the frame compared to the glossy finish of the S23, and a much flatter design edge with a slight rounded off look for a better in-hand feel. The S24 Plus and S24 look to have the most refined and durable build to the base and Plus model of the S series yet. On the other hand, I personally feel the soul and character of what made the base and Plus S series stand out and feel unique, especially with the S22, is almost no longer there. And as much as on a technical and general level there's nothing wrong with the S24 and S24 Plus, it's just something to subjectively consider at this stage. The display experience is one of the areas we see the biggest changes for the S24 Plus and S24, with some major improvements and also some returning features. First of all, thanks to the new design refinements and slimmer bezels, the S24 now has a 6.2-inch display, while the S24 Plus now has a much larger 6.7-inch display. Second is the brightness, which now boosts to a peak of 2600 nits thanks to the new improved vision booster, alongside for the first time an adaptive refresh rate panel and range between 1 to 120 Hz. Resolution wise, the S24 Plus now sees the option of the QHD Plus mode while still being able to push 120 Hz. Last time we saw a QHD Plus mode on a Plus model was the S20 Plus, but if you remember at that time it was limited to 60 Hz, so it's great to see it match the Ultra, minus the S Pen support. The S24 is still using an FHD Plus resolution, but for the size of the display, this is more than fine. Overall, this addresses any concerns and improvements we wanted for the display experience for the base and Plus model, and in fact, the Plus model might just be my favorite display yet from Samsung. For both the S24 Plus and S24, unlike the S24 Ultra, there will be a regional split between the EXYNOS 2400 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset. From what we know, the Snapdragon chip is in USA, Canada, and China, while the rest of the world will have EXYNOS. The S24 Plus has 2 SKUs, both using 12GB of RAM and 256 and 512GB of UFS 4.0 storage. The S24 has 3 SKUs, with all 3 using 8GB of RAM and 128, 256, and 512GB of storage. No word on if there's a split between UFS 3.1 and UFS 4 on the S24 model based on the storage amount, but if there's any further update, we will be sure to let you know. We will reserve our opinions on the EXYNOS 2400 performance at this time until we have our review unit, as most likely that will be the model we will have for review. Until then, we do feel it's interesting that Samsung decided to go this route again and not follow an all Snapdragon chip like what they did with the S24 Ultra. We can only hope the results for the end user are still favorable when it comes to the performance and efficiency. When looking at the camera hardware of both the S24 Plus and S24 compared to the previous S23, on paper, the hardware looks unchanged, with a 50 megapixel main wide sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto, and also a 12 megapixel selfie. What this also means is that there is still what feels like a lot left on the table, and the difference between the S24 Ultra compared to the base and Plus model of the S24 personally feeling larger than before. Yes, 8K 30fps recording with no crop on the main sensor is still available, and although you still can record in 4K 60 on all the cameras, including the selfie, you don't get the same awesome ability to switch between them while recording, meaning you still have to completely stop recording to switch lenses in 4K 60, or default down to 4K 30 if you want that level of flexibility. The new dual record mode that replaces director's view is limited to 1080p recording, unlike the S24 Ultra, which can actually record this in 4K. If you're looking for the new 4K UHD 120fps slow motion option in Pro Video, then you are out of luck, as that is still reserved for the S24 Ultra. Now look, this is not to say the camera experience on the S24 Plus and S24 is below par, as you do have to remember, against the competition, you still have a full triple camera system for the rear with a dedicated 3x telephoto that can extend up to 30x with space zoom. We are just not sure whether if this is due to the split of EXYNOS and Snapdragon that the pipeline process that Samsung's Pro Visual Engine works with is being held back in any way. For now, we'll reserve our full thoughts on the camera experience for the Galaxy S24 Plus and S24, and we highly recommend you watch our hands-on experience with the S24 Ultra and await our full review. Software on the S24 series in general sees Android 14 with the latest One UI 6.1. Stay tuned for more, as we will have an extensive video covering the changes between One UI 6.0 and 6.1, but for now, everything is all based around device AI thanks to the new chipset. Take everything we experienced here at face value for now, as this is a controlled environment for the demos at hand, but overall, this is looking good. The core features demonstrated for software are Live Translate, Interpreter, Chat Assist, Note Assist, Transcript Assist, Circle to Search with Google, and improved Android Auto. Let's start with Live Translate. This was demonstrated and showcased as an addition to the Call Assist feature, in which you have the ability to speak in one language while the other person at the end of the call hears it in another language. In the case that we were showcased, this was actually us speaking in English and it was being translated to Korean. With the noise of the environment to consider, even in this closed booth, the Live Translate was actually working decently well, and is something we are quite interested in trying out more. Interpreter is all about using on-device AI without the need of a data or Wi-Fi connection to instantly live translate a two-way conversation. There is a split screen option you can actually select to match the standing position of the two people talking. We experienced this from English to Spanish and also English to Korean. The experience of it was fast and responsive, and we were told that there's actually an intentional 2-second delay after you finish speaking to make sure cadence-wise the phone is sure you've actually finished speaking before it starts translating. But if you want it to be instant, you can actually press the microphone icon and the translation is instant. Chat Assist within the Samsung Messages app and Samsung Keyboard in this particular situation gives you different options in the type of tone you want to send your messages to the other person at the end of the conversation when you're not too sure of yourself. For example, if you want a more professional tone, casual, polite, or even a more social media friendly way. Chat Assist also goes further by allowing you to translate conversations with someone else in a different supported language, helping you to break down the barriers different languages can have between people. And the last is spelling and grammar for advanced correction assistance. Transcript Assist uses AI and speech-to-text technology to transcribe, summarize, and even translate recordings. From what we've been told at this time, it does look like it needs an internet connection and for you to actually be logged into your Samsung account for it to work. Plus, it looks to be only available on the Samsung Voice Recorder app. What was great to see with this feature was the ability to transcribe multiple speakers. Then, when transcribed, it can further be summarized and also changed to a different supported language. Circle by Search with Google is probably the feature I was most excited to see, because I can't tell you how many times I've been in situations where I wanted to extract information about a place and product just from a picture, whether it's a piece of clothing someone is wearing in a picture or a picture of a place you've actually gone to and you want more information on. Circle by Search with Google looks to be working great, and it's definitely something I'll be tapping into a lot more. Note Assist works within the Samsung Notes app and uses the power of AI to help you summarize written notes and streamline things with different formatting templates and also translate them into different supported languages. You also have the ability to generate different covers based on colors or images you have in mind to help you better organize the different notes you have. Android Auto now with Galaxy AI can help you summarize your messages when in use for a safer driving experience, and also have better context of your conversations giving you appropriate suggestions to help you reply with. The look of One UI is also more present with Android Auto, giving you a consistent feel across your device and also when you're using Android Auto. Honorable mentions are firstly the new Super HDR feature, which allows for realistic HDR preview even before taking a shot and carries through to third-party apps like Instagram and also HDR viewing in the gallery. The major one is Samsung offering 7 years of OS version updates, which also includes security. We believe this to be just for the S24 series for now. This is no doubt something against both Apple and especially Google with their recent 7 years support announcement on their Pixel 8 series, so we love to see it here. Again, as a disclaimer, for how well these features look to be working and the promises, this is a controlled environment, and how much this is a pure One UI 6.1 feature set that will make its way to previous models like the S22 and S23 is yet to be determined, but we will of course update you when we have more information. That being said, the rabbit hole that is software on the S24 series is very extensive and no doubt the most complete experience Samsung is offering yet on their flagship devices. For battery, the S24 Plus is working with a 4900 mAh battery with support for super fast charging 2.0 wired using Samsung's 45-watt charger and 5-amp cable, 15-watt wireless charging and wireless power share. The S24 is using a 4000 mAh battery with support for super fast charging at 25 watts wired, 15-watt wireless charging and wireless power share. This is the largest battery we've seen yet in a Plus model phone from Samsung, with the S21 Plus being the only one to come close in size with a 4800 mAh battery, and does give us confidence for the best battery experience potentially for a Plus model phone yet, and even against the Ultra, if the chipset allows it. For pricing and availability, be sure to check the description below for both the S24 Plus and S24. At this time, are you concerned for the return of EXYNOS? Is it a move that makes sense, or is it something for us to actually celebrate and not worry about? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. For the latest news in the world of Samsung daily, be sure to visit us at SamMobile.com. And for the latest videos on YouTube with SamMobile TV, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, and we will see you next time.